Do you wish there was an accurate way of knowing if someone was telling the truth? Would you like to know whether someone likes you or not before they even say a word? In just a few minutes from now, you could be able to read anyone's body language cues and even answer these questions. Many of us are put in situations every day where body language is a key factor, whether it be a first date or an interview or just meeting a stranger. I've been put in many of these situations, mainly in job interviews. Reading and interpreting body language requires you to know exactly what to look for, know how to interpret what particular signal it is that's being given off, and allow you the knowledge of which nonverbal communication you should participate in and when. Let's first start by discussing exactly what to look for when it comes to body language. The first step in reading language is knowing exactly what to look for. Oftentimes, someone might give you certain facial expressions or positionings of the head, such as nodding, tilting, or projecting of the chin. Eyes can be a key component as to whether they are looking at you or not. Pay close attention to the positioning of the chest and shoulders and particular placing of the hands. Being able to read and interpret body language can be an essential component in understanding what is really going on rather than words themselves. One thing some people tend not to pay much attention to is maybe the crossing or bouncing of their legs. Now that you know certain things to look for, let's discuss some of the particular signals that these gestures are giving out. I have a helper that's going to help me demonstrate. Oftentimes, what people say and what they feel are not the same. In this case, understanding the signals being put out will help you to maybe better understand what they are feeling. The positioning of the hands. Running your fingers through your hair might show that someone is frustrated or feel that they're very attractive. Patting down the hair could be a sign of a lack of self-confidence. Placing the hand on the chin or cheek could mean they're thinking or evaluating. Crossed arms could mean they're not happy with what's being said or done, that they're creating a barrier. An outward or upward hand movement might mean open and positive message. Tapping or drumming fingers can communicate impatience or frustration. Hands on the hips might be a sign of readiness or aggression. Looking up to the right, they might be recalling a memory. Looking up and to the left, they might be using the imagination, which is the creative part of the brain. When they break eye contact, it might mean that they feel intimidated or threatened. If their blinking rate increases, it might mean they're nervous. The widening or brightening of eyes may be an increase in interest. Consistently looking around, they might be bored with the situation or conversation. Leg positioning. The wider the feet are apart, the more dominant a person feels. If their legs are crossed while they're sitting down, it could be a negative or defensive position, depending on the tenseness of muscles. Slightly kicking or bouncing the foot when sitting might mean nervous or impatient. Crossing their ankles while sitting could mean they're just relaxed. You now know the basics of reading body language, but what most do not realize that you are not the only ones reading body language. Therefore, you need to know what body language is appropriate and at what times in order for others to get the right impression of you. To allow for the complete understanding of body language, it is important that you learn which nonverbal forms of communication are appropriate and when. Two situations in which you should pay particularly close attention to your body language is during an interview or on a first date. During an interview, you are constantly being judged and observed. Keep eye contact. This shows self-assurance. Do not fiddle. This can be a sign of boredom or impatience. Do not cross arms. This implies that you have no care or interest for what is being said, asked, or done. A first date is always the most nerve-wracking, and you never want to move too fast and risk ruining the relationship. Ways you can show interest is looking the person head to toe, tilting your head when they speak, or keeping your body turned to this person while you're both talking. You should now be perfectly capable of reading body language. I have covered what certain parts of the body your attention should be drawn, the message that gives off, and how to use body language for yourself to benefit you and the impression of others towards you. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you're unsure as to whether the person feels the way they are speaking, then you know exactly now how to go about figuring that